Alright, Matt, I got all your stuff done. I am very happy to say that because when I first started it, I really wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it. So I'm pretty happy that I was able to get through it all, get it all done, get it done the right way, and make it all work the way it's supposed to. So that's pretty awesome. So we're going to start with the hex here. This is the Argonaut 370, I think. Shit, I don't even know what size props it takes. Probably 7 or something. I don't know. These motors, these are Lumineer, or no, T-motor 2000 kV, so maybe 6-inch or 7-inch props. It's gonna be pretty awesome. So I know you wanted it to be a long-range quad. So we got the okay, well, when I first got it, wires were hooked up wrong. The soldering looked like crap. I redid the soldering. As you can see here, I made it look all pretty. The flight controller that was in it was that the FR Sky F3 whatever, the one that had the built-in receiver. This guy right here, which is a pretty cool flight controller, but I wasn't able to hook up the what was it, the Easy UHF, since it had the built-in receiver, you know. So we got a new flight controller in there, and the new flight controller is the Maytech F405 CTR, which is an awesome flight controller. Has everything you need on it. Then I put the Fat Shark 1.3 gigahertz VTX in there, and if you take this battery off, the buttons to change the channels are right there in an open slot, so you can access that no problem. There's just one thing I still need to do, and that's figure out how to make these LEDs stay where they're at. So I don't know if I have some super glue, but that might be what I need to do. God, this thing is huge. So we got the Easy UHF on there. It's right here in the back. Luckily, since you sent me your radio, you know, you don't have to worry about binding up anything. I figured that out. So this is my first time messing with Easy UHF. I've never even seen it before in person. This is the nano receiver. And after like a couple days of trying to get this stuff to bind, I finally figured out that it has to be, the receiver firmware has to be the exact same as the transmitter firmware. So once I finally figured that out, everything bound right up and it was all good. So let me show you real quick. I'll turn on your radio. So here's another thing too. Here's your radio. This antenna is huge. I've never seen an antenna this big. This is for 433 megahertz. You got the notch filter on here, right there. So that's the only way I could figure out how to do it. I had to throw on one of my 90 degree elbows to be able to make it work, because the notch filter wouldn't fit where this handle is. Yeah, so there's that. We'll turn this on.
Welcome to OpenTX. Switch warning.
Oh, there was one problem with the hex too, and that is, for some reason, I don't know why, it might be just a setting. Hopefully you can get it to work, but I set up the LED low switch in Betaflight for auxiliary 3, which I made this switch right here, and it's not turning them off, and I don't know why. I mean, when I look in Betaflight and I move the switch, it moves over to where it's supposed to, but the LEDs just don't turn off, and I don't know why. I spent quite a bit of time trying to figure that out, and I couldn't. So hopefully you can, or if you want me to hang on to it and keep trying, let me know. Okay, so I'm gonna plug in the battery and we'll arm it for you, show you that it arms, it's all bound up and everything. So here we go. You see the LEDs are working in the back end and the front there. Alright, so arm is this switch right here. Okay, so there you go. You can see all the motors are spinning up. They're all spinning the right way as well. So yeah, the middle is disarm, and then down is arm. Okay. Alright, so there you go. That's that. I had to take this thing completely apart, like all the way stripped down, completely taken apart, just to get the battery, because the guy had it to where he had the battery on the bottom. Oh, another thing he did too was he had the battery where the battery cable was soldered onto the PDB. It was almost touching the carbon, like it was just so close. I couldn't believe that it didn't short out. So I made sure to put some clear foam over that, so that'll never short out. Alright, so there's the hex. And I have it says hex in the radio, so you'll know which model is which. Alright, and then you have a bunch of batteries. So the one that's on the quad and this one came with the hex. And then you also got 3 of these Bolt 2400 milliamp hour 3S. So there's those 3. So there's 5 batteries. And then you got these 3. These are pretty cool batteries actually. They're made out of 18650s and they're 3200 milliamp hour 2S. So there's 3 of these for your wing. So 3, 4, 5, so there's 8 batteries that you got total. And then also the battery that I installed in your radio. This is a pretty sweet battery too. I gotta get me one of these. Look how nice it fits in there. It's just so perfect. I don't even know if I'll be able to get it out. There we go. Lumineer 2500. Comes with 3 different plugs on it too, which is awesome. So I got that in there. Alright, so God, it's gonna take me a while to figure out what boxes to use and what to put in what box. And alright, next up will be the vortex. Oh, where is it? Here's the vortex. See, I guess I gotta put the antennas on to show you this stuff. So we got the 433 antenna, and then the 1.2 antenna. Alright. This quad is sweet. Alright, so turn on your radio.
Welcome to OpenTX. Throttle warning. Switch warning.
I got this one named Vortex.
Switch warning.
Alright. And we'll take one of these Bolt batteries. Plug it in. Wait a minute. This is my first time messing with the Vortex too. It's a pretty sweet quad. Should be ready to arm now. I don't remember what arm was though. Oh yeah, you gotta move the throttle down and to the right, I believe. Yep. So there we go, it's armed. Good to go. I also put the 1.3 gigahertz VTX in here. It wasn't too bad. I did have to pull the bulkhead off, which was a pain in the ass. I had to completely take this apart to get to the bottom to desolder the bulkhead. And then the VTX, actually it was up here underneath this thing. And then there's the VTX right there. It's a 1.3. And you can get to the button on this side through the side. You can see it right there, the black long button sticking out. So you can change channels on there, no problem. Also put a new camera on. This is the Monster Mini. Pretty awesome camera. That's what I put on the Hex as well. I don't know if I mentioned that. So both of those have the Monster Mini. My favorite camera right now is the Monster Micro. They're pretty much the same besides the size. So there is the vortex. And then next up will be the wing. This is my first time messing with a wing as well. So this is the Strix Nano Goblin. Pretty sweet little wing here. This was my very first time ever messing with a vector as well, a mini or micro vector. So we'll open this up, and there it is right there, the micro vector. You got your PSU right here. I added a 12-volt step-up Pololu. You can see it right there in the blue heat shrink, and that is powering the VTX. The VTX is right here. You can get to the dip switches right there. And I just did this so perfectly so that the battery, when it's in there, and you can put some Velcro down. What you do is there's these little lines you can see right here, kind of raised bumps, one on each side, and you put your thumb and your finger on it like that and see if it balances. So when you got the battery sitting right here, it balances almost perfectly. See it? Oh, look at that. Perfectly balanced. It's a little teeny bit nose heavy, and that's what they said was okay. You just don't want it back heavy. But, you know, I could move the battery back a tiny bit and it would just, see, there we go, right there is just balanced perfect. So, yeah, that's awesome. You got your GPS on here. Everything's working like it's supposed to. You got your 433 antenna, your 1.2 antenna. I didn't really want to make too many holes in this thing. I did make one hole for the GPS and the 433 antenna right here, but it's nice and round and perfect. I did it, you know, best job I could. Just keep wires from being all over the place. Then you got your Aero Micro Pro in the front there. And we will plug in the battery and turn this guy on. So this is named Goblin 2. I think I named it that because I had another one just Goblin and I had to make a new model.
Switch warning.
So there we go. We will plug in the battery. There we go, it's ready to fly. So if I move the up, down, so it moves just like it's supposed to. And then here's the throttle. Really nice resolution on the throttle, it's pretty good. You can make it go super slow. Alright, well, there you go, man. Everything's good to go. I got a ton of stuff to ship to you. It's just crazy how much stuff there is. Thank you for letting me do all this, and I'll talk to you soon.